On June 24th, 2022, the Supreme Court of the United States made a monumental decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, dismantling nearly 50 years of legal precedent protecting a woman's right to choose. The ruling has not only reignited a nationwide debate, but has also sparked a wave of protests across the country. Here in Los Angeles, a group of women met outside City Hall for Women's Walkout on the 2-year anniversary of this unconstitutional ruling. To understand the potential future consequences of banning abortion, we can look at history. In 1966, Romania's dictator Nicolae implemented Decree 770, banning abortion to increase the population. This law resulted in a drastic rise in maternal mortality from 20 deaths per 100,000 live births in 1965 to 148 per 100,000 in 1989. The consequences were dire. Women resorted to dangerous, illegal procedures, and thousands died or were left with lifelong complications.
They only care about the children while they're in the system. So the moment they're out, it's like, see you later, kids, you're on your own.
The reason why they did it is because they wanted future workforce for Romania.
Yeah.
Because people want to have their children because they couldn't afford them.
Yeah. Yeah. And in today's
like
society, if we can't afford to pay them to feed them when they're out of school, we can't afford to clothe them, we can't afford to give them health care. Yeah. And the ones that don't want their kids wind up abusing their kid anyway. So how is that in the better interest of the child? If they're being abused because they are not wanted.
In the end, we're just going to have another Romania 1966, and it's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks. You know, I'm lucky I'm in California now, but all it takes is the wrong politician and the wrong law, and we can easily be Texas.
You know, like, we are so fortunate that we have the rights that we do here in California, and I know that other states are not so fortunate. Did you know that in some states, if a woman is even pregnant, she cannot get a divorce? If she has children with a man, she cannot get a divorce? And it is horrible because it creates so many domestic violence situations.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm April. Is this where we check in, or?
Are you volunteer?
No, I have no idea. I'm so confused.
Are you with the media?
No, well, I mean, unless you consider YouTube a media, but.
Hi, YouTube. But we were just discussing what happened in Romania in 1966. Basically, they made a decree called Decree 770, and it caused Romania to have a total ban on abortion. And all these children were being born, nobody wanted them, nobody took care for them. They did so they could take care of future workforce. And so, these children were uncared for, they were sent to orphanages, and when the orphanages were full, they were abandoned in the streets, the roads, the mountains, everywhere. No one wanted these kids. And to this day, Romania is one of the biggest places where child pornography took place and where child trafficking took place because of this. Because these children were not wanted, they were not cared for, they were not considered at all in this.
Similarly, in 2020, Poland introduced a near-total ban on abortion, triggering mass protests and leading to tragic stories of women forced to carry non-viable pregnancies. Just like in Romania, the health and autonomy of women were the collateral damage.
Anger in Poland after a woman died from complications in her pregnancy. A termination had been delayed because doctors feared breaking the country's near-total ban on abortion.
Message to her mother, saying,
The baby weighs 485 grams. For now, because of the abortion law, I have to lie down. They can't do anything. They're going to wait until he dies or something else happens. Oh, and also, I could die of septic shock.
Isabella did die of just that, and her 22-week-old fetus also died.
In addition to this, the U.S. has a higher infant mortality rate than similarly developed countries, ranking 54th in 2023 out of more than 200 countries for the highest percentage of deaths. And that number is rising as a result of overturning Roe v. Wade. Mama Dr. Jones, a certified OBGYN on YouTube, explains how this is in her pro-lies abortion propaganda professionals video.
Only 1.5% of terminations happen after 20 weeks. Any abortion happening after 20 weeks, first off, is going to be rare. Second, many of them, especially in the ones who are born alive, are going to be having abortions for lethal anomalies and be induced. This is still considered an abortion. When they put in these laws that are like, if there is a medical need, like the person's life is in danger, tell me when that happens, right? When is it okay to terminate that pregnancy? Should I wait or should I do it early?
In the United States, the consequences were immediate. States with trigger laws in place were quick to ban or heavily restrict access to abortion. This left millions of women without local access to safe, legal abortions, forcing them to travel hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles, or seek unsafe alternatives. In states like Texas, medical professionals now face the risk of criminal charges for providing necessary care in emergencies, leaving them hesitant to intervene, even when a woman's life is at stake. In Mama Dr. Jones's video, Republicans are torturing pregnant women with lethal diagnoses. She talks about real-world stories from her home state of Texas, where this is already happening.
So Kimberly Manzano is one of the people, and this isn't the person that I know, but she kept getting worse and worse news about the condition of the baby that she was pregnant with. And finally, after long discussions and many weeks of testing and ultrasound, the doctor that she was taking care of said this is not a pregnancy issue or a fetal development that will be compatible with life after delivery. Although they knew that continuing the pregnancy would put them at greater risk for things like infection and illness, the patient's life was not actively.
In the wake of Roe's overturning, the movement for reproductive rights is divided between those who seek radical change and those who advocate for reform within the system.
So we're inviting people on July 4th saying there's no to celebrating America and everything America stands for. Even 2 years ago, right, July 4th came right after Roe was overturned. Mm-hmm. And, you know, people are saying, look, our only option if you don't vote Biden is that then Trump is going to take power. But we're saying, look, no, like, one, Trump isn't playing by the rules anymore. And actually thinking that elections is a way to change things at this time is delusional. And two, Biden and Trump represent the same system. And that back in when abortion rights was overturned, the Democrats had decades to stop it from happening, to codify it, to do literally anything. You know?
See, I think that the Democrats are just incompetent. Like, I think that...
Well, they like you. They get off the system gets off the hook if people are thinking that, you know?
Well, I think some of them try, and I think they are open to feedback. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that they're perfect. I think they have a lot of work to do.
But there's a fundamental point that we don't live in a free-floating democracy, right? We live in a capitalist dictatorship from a ruling class. And Biden, the Democrats, and Trump and the fascists represent that system.
I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I think your group maybe needs to work on its messaging a little bit.
Wait, what does it get? Because I told you.
Because yes, that you're not discussing it anyhow. You have no anyhow. Like you're saying go look at social media.
No, I'm saying
and that sounds like MAGA to me.
No, I'm saying millions of people have to overthrow the system physically. And that's going to take training. That's going to take people who actually want to overthrow the system. That's going to take people who are fighting for a different society, which we have a blueprint for, an actual constitution. That's more than what a lot of people have when they're making revolutions.
Yes, she actually did just say that she wants to overthrow the government. So it took a lot of back and forth before she kept referring to revolution, and things like that, but she wouldn't say what she meant because I feel like she was kind of speaking in code. And she finally said that she wants to overthrow them through military action. I don't think the military action quite made it into the final video, just because I was unable to find the exact clip. But what she's talking about is very extreme. Now let's take a look at what most liberals actually think, because she doesn't represent most of us.
But yeah, I agree.
everybody.
We're taught their husbands, their children, their spouses are off the door, and they are left handling whatever is out there, right? There's that. I'm against it. Other story is that when democracy starts to fail, fail
Very true.
with its sword. So we're not going to let that happen. We're going to this is the system we're in. We've got to fight.
Yeah.
It was a movement. As states continue to debate and litigate reproductive rights, the fight is far from over. Whether through protests, voting, or education, the call to action remains the same: to stand up for reproductive justice and ensure that future generations don't have to fight the same battles.